art gave me that opportunity to hustle, you know? So I started making money on the street. I used to paint on Florida Avenue outside of the Cricket stores and the Boost Mobile stores. And that's how I started to get gigs.
I see.
You know? So yeah, it started off like that.
So you're very much proud of like
I'm
that culture. Like it was very much like a cultural happening.
It's a culture because people are outside.
Right. But you started outside.
I started outside.
That's the interesting thing, especially as a painter.
I was outside.
Yeah.
My first art show was in Baltimore. It was crazy. I met someone who told me about an art show in Baltimore, and I submitted some work. And I went to Baltimore for my very first art show. Sold 2 paintings, made $400.
Damn.
And at that time, $400 is a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shit, you saying at that time, so
like,
it must have been that time.
Yeah. $400 is a lot to me because, like, when you work in, like, a retail job or, like, in a restaurant, you're not really seeing no money. So, I saw that in a day.
Shit, 400 off of something that you can do naturally.
In a day. That's all.
Bruh, it don't matter if it was that time, now, today, in the future, $400, that's still something.
No, but that
go a long way.
You're selling the art, you know.
Yeah.
When I went to a thing, the thing you were performing at actually.
It was hard to let it go too. It's like, I'm not done.
It's like, oh my god. It's like, why is it out there?
Selling shit for 400, you fucking around sell shit for a band too.
How do you know when you're finished?
I'm never finished.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you're putting out a project.
I just let go. I'm never finished.
How do you know you're done?
I mean, but when you say that, like, as far as, like, finalizing the project or, like, done as far as, like, you feeling like you're good off
releasing it.
Releasing it?
Moving on to the next thing. I'm finished.
Um,
I'm not putting nothing else on it. It's done. Like, what are ways to help you realize, like, all right, I'm done this? Do you get another idea? Or is it like, I have to stop myself? Like, what's the process, the mental process? Because not about to say Mr. Gatorade. Oh, sorry.
That's a good name.
No.
I'm about to change your name to that in my contacts.
I fuck with the idea of the series. Like, that just made me feel like you got like 38 songs on one EP. And then you got the whole production and everything. Like, how do you know that you're finished? Because painting is different.
I don't think I know when I'm finished. I think I just accept that a project has to be finished eventually. Yeah. When I released the album, I wasn't satisfied with the final mix of it. You know, I wasn't satisfied with the final master. I wanted to change some of the words. I wanted to, but I think eventually a project starts taking a life of its own. The piece is the piece, and you just kind of like have to allow the piece to be alive and to be its own thing. It's kind of like letting your child leave the house. You might want to, I mean, I'm not a parent. I'm sorry, parents.
How can you use it as a reference?
I'm thinking about my parents.
Okay.
That was a good save. But no, it's like, it's letting, like, I look at parents, not at myself. And, one of the hardest things to do is for them to accept that whatever is next for the kid is going to have to be up to the kid. It's no longer their immediate input. They can't be as hands-on about this. It's going to have to take a life of its own and be its own thing. So I think when I feel like when a piece is telling enough of its own story, I just got to trust it to keep telling that story.
Yeah, keep telling
It's like, we're done here. We're like, whatever came from me as far as you're concerned, that's done. That's for another piece. I remember one of the people I think back to a lot when it comes to that specific question is Freddie Mercury. I was watching one of his interviews where, of course, he was drinking beer and yelling and saying a lot of cool shit. One of the things he said was that he'll try to make a song work. He'll write a song and try to make it work. And if after 2, 3, 4 times of trying to make that record work in the studio it doesn't turn into anything, it's time to move on to the next song. And I kind of internalized that after I saw the interview where I was like, sometimes the piece is over just because the piece is over. You might not be done with it, but it's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's a journey of acceptance, and that acceptance in the art also ends up being a level of acceptance that translates to my everyday life. And when sometimes you just have to let a thing be a thing. Sometimes you're gonna have to let go of people you love. Sometimes you're gonna have to let go of places you love. Sometimes you're gonna have to, and that doesn't even mean that it's gone forever. Maybe it just needs to go become its own thing, so that there's greater symbiosis between you and these things. But yeah, just accepting that the beauty, some of the beauty and the full potential of some things will just not involve you being active in that thing.
Ooh.
You know, and
it's kind of like accepting certain memories that were good. That you know, it's just at the end of the day, no matter how good it was, that's a memory now.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I told you, I go through that shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much things that I'm so like happy and anticipated for in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's also things that I be thinking about in the past too. Like, damn. Not like I'm depressed, but it's damn, like that shit was a time, like, and it was like the nostalgia of it, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm a '94 baby, you know what I'm saying? Nostalgia. Like, so it's like the fact that like I'm an in-betweener, like I grew up like fucking with the older niggas, but then I grew up with the relating to the younger people too, but I being the older guy of the younger crowd. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I've adapted to today's time, but also I still just remember how time just moves so fast. Like, I'm 29, but it don't even feel like that.
For real.
You know, within me just living in, like, me moving fast and, like, you know, just the memories and all that, I feel like I'm 24, 23.